From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon of Afternoons LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2022 for today, May 8th, 2022. In today's recording, we go over the incredible great news as we go into a new week of those big fourth stimulus checks that have landed in every state, including your state, and the big success of viewers of this channel who have gotten their applications on file in the last week. Today, I'm going to show you how to get your second application on file. Go to the top of the chat and become a member. Get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That gives you the information and the links of how to get those checks. A fourth stimulus check is now available in every U.S. state, and today we're going to go over those incredible checks in today's recording. But there'll be other checks on top of those. Yes, why? Because Build Back Better Act is likely to get passed. It's currently sitting in the U.S. Senate, and it's refocused by the White House in the latest push for the midterm elections. I'll have the big news on that front today. Then we'll be looking to the Federal Reserve and what it did with inflation last week and potentially did it wrong, heading you into recession as inflation is likely to stay hot and interest rates are expected to go higher. What does this mean for your SS300? All good news. Then we turn to sixth stimulus, the latest stimulus package that was caused by Putin, and will it get done? I believe it will. We'll be looking at that sixth stimulus package heating up this month. Then over to that student loan debt forgiveness, as more debt is going to be forgiven by the White House, but at what amount? We'll have the latest details on that front from today's recording. But from the shores of Santa Monica, California, the great news is that a fourth stimulus check is now in every U.S. state. How do you get the check in your state? All the latest details, and today we go over an ancillary extra piece of paper. It is your LATE 404 Plus. We're going to go over LATE 404 Plus today. But first, become a member. Get ready for the news because it is afternoons. We'll have a preview of tonight's big show on Evenings LATE in prime time. The afternoon's excitement for May 8th starts right now. And good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day for May 8th, 2022. It is gorgeous weather here in Southern California. A little bit sunny, but not too hot. And happy Mother's Day to all of you. J Powell's giving you stagflation for Mother's Day. J Powell's giving you stagflation and recession and inflation. He's just a loving son, isn't he? In today's recording, we'll go over what J Powell gave you for Mother's Day. Can I give it back? Yeah, you gave me stagflation, recession, and inflation for Mother's Day. And the highest 10-year Treasury note for since 2018. Jay, you're such a thoughtful child. We'll go over the latest details on why that's good news. Ironically, I'm not joking, for your Build Back Better Act and your SS300. But the great news to start is that a fourth stimulus check is available in every U.S. state. And I'm going to go over into this recording how you get that incredible fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. And why I'm so proud of the viewership of this channel, because in this last week, thousands of you have gotten your applications on file to get those incredible checks. How to become a member? Go to the top of the chat, go to the pinned comment, become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Casino VIP, then get that newsletter, then apply. And your homework assignment is due on Monday. That is to get your second application on file. I'll recap your homework assignment, so hopefully you are working on it today. And then we also have a new LATE 404 plus in today's recording. What is it? It's an extra piece of education coming up later in this recording today. Let's go over the incredible great news as we start a brand new week. This new week is likely to be more dramatic than last week. Why? Because there's bad economic data everywhere. And let's recap. When there's bad economic data, it helps get stimulus for you, because people do not want to help you when the economy is doing well. Well, the economy is not doing well, and that's what most Americans now understand this week. After several months of me telling you it was bad, but there wasn't enough indicators for a lot of people to feel it. Now you can feel how bad the economy is. What we're talking about right now is that the fourth stimulus check has landed in every U.S. state, at least one of them, but that Congress would be giving you additional checks, extra checks. And those are Build Back Better Act, $15,000 to $80,000 of checks. And then your SS 300 that is impacted based upon inflation. What happened last week? What's going to happen this week on the economic, the corporate earnings, and the other financial news that will impact your wallet, Build Back Better Act, and SS 300? Well, Wednesday is one of the most important days you want to watch this channel. It is the Consumer Price Index number release, the CPI. It means a lot for what we're doing and you and I are doing on this channel. Why? It's going to be an inflationary gauge number. It will tell us if what Jay Powell did last week, what he did the month before at those FOMC meetings by raising interest rates have worked or not. Then it'll show what consumer spending is doing in view of the inflationary pressures. Very important for Build Back Better Act. Why? When you look at Build Back Better Act, it has a lot of bad economic data supporting it right now. The White House's insiders have said that the White House is refocusing agenda back on passing Build Back Better Act, with negotiations currently underway again with Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin, hopefully hoping to get this to a vote by Memorial Day weekend, and those checks in your hand in the next few weeks thereafter. Build Back Better Act would pay you an additional $15,000 to $80,000 of checks on top of the incredible checks that I'm going to show you already that are live in your state, landing by direct deposit. They're coming up later in this recording. Build Back Better Act has a lot of bad economic data right today. What is the bad economic data? If you look left and right, you can see it everywhere. It is the inflation, the recessionary concerns, the corporate earnings dramatically down, the labor participation rate not so good, and then the job creation numbers not that much better either. Yes, when we look at labor, that is generally the best part of this economy. But this last week, we saw that the labor participation number is still below pre-pandemic levels. That's how many people are actually participating in the workforce, in the labor workforce. We saw the job creations numbers not good. Not good overall, with non-farm payrolls down about 60,000 less than projections. Yes, there are jobs being created, and yes, there are about 2 to 3 jobs available for every unemployed person, but people are still not getting back to work. Then when we looked at what corporate earnings are doing, very bad news. We just ended the first quarter this year. We're currently in the second quarter, and we aren't getting projections for third quarter. What do the corporate earnings show us? Last quarter was poor, but the third quarter is potentially going to be the worst. Why? Because of supply chain disruption. The products that we make in China cannot get back into our hands in the United States because of supply chain disruption. And that is the subvariant of Omicron. And that is why we ended a very dramatic week last week, with the S&P shredding 1.2% on Friday and the NASDAQ down 1.7%. The Dow was down 345 points in just one day, but the Dow continued its slide, its sixth consecutive week down, and the NASDAQ with another week down, the most consecutive weeks of the NASDAQ down since 2012. We had corporate earnings that literally were just going left and right, down and down. Shares of Apple fell dramatically when it gave guidance that the third quarter will be very bad because it cannot get component parts into its Apple iPhones. Under Armour, the sports apparel company, plummeted on Friday, down 22%, as it missed estimates on its revenues and its profits. In fact, the casualties among it were Nike. That didn't report that day, but it felt the impact across the board. The labor participation numbers released on Friday, and it showed that increases of salaries across the board, but it showed we're still about 1.2% down compared to the year before. The data was really at issue when Paul Tudor Jones, a renowned billionaire hedge fund manager, said this is uncharted territory. That was a quote. And you don't want to own bonds or stocks. We're going into a period right now where it's going to be hard to make money, and you want to conserve the money. The data continue to come in as Joe Biden gave guidance about what's going on for the rest of the year. He said that the U.S. economy will see the national debt shrink, but immediately liberal publications said that's a misstatement, Joe, because you're excluding Build Back Better from the analysis. Finally, the 10-year Treasury note rose to 3.3% on Friday, the highest level since 2018. Why are those bond traders so smart? They are very smart. They're giving you guidance on where inflation is going before we get the data. Those bond traders trade up the 10-year Treasury note before we get the inflationary numbers, so we get a guidance about what the number will look like. Wednesday, we get the number. The Consumer Price Index number, and my projection is the number is going to be somewhere still around 8. It may be 8.1, 8.2, or it may be a little bit less at about 7.9. What happened with Jay Powell this week? Jay Powell got what he didn't want to have, but I got to tell you, should have expected this to come. I just don't know what's going on with this Federal Reserve. This is starting to turn into the Temple of Doom 2.0. 2 years ago, the Temple of Doom was, of course, Nancy Pelosi, because she got me so angry with her inability to deal with very simple things like negotiations, second stimulus. I couldn't mention her name on air, so I just referred to her as Temple Doom. Now it's starting to become like Temple of Doom 2.0, just this time it's Jay Powell. The Federal Reserve, historically, throughout time, has not been able to deal with inflation by raising interest rates. Let me say it another way. Has not been able to solve inflation by raising interest rates. So what are they doing this time? They're trying to solve inflation by raising interest rates. Everyone and their sister and their brother and their pet chihuahua all know that Jay Powell cannot solve inflation when it's caused by supply chain disruption. And that raising interest rates, he has nothing in his toolbox to solve inflation with raising interest rates if that inflation is going up because of supply chain disruption. Even he admits it's going up because of supply chain disruption. Which ones? Coming out of COVID, 1. 2, Putin invading Ukraine in March. 3, China going on lockdown in April because of the subvariant of Omicron. Unless one of those 3 events end, then inflation is not going away. Well, China will come off of lockdown eventually in about 1 to 2 months, and Putin's probably not withdrawing from Ukraine, and we will perhaps end that first supply chain disruption eventually. But that's not for Jay Powell to do. And that is why Wall Street really woke up this last week. It took them a while, and they were unhappy. They crashed. Dow's down 1,300 points in one day, and followed a week in which corporate earnings brought stocks down. Then Jay Powell announced what he already told us he was going to do. Now, let's make this very frank. The way that the Federal Reserve works is it wants to give you guidance on what it's doing a month or 2 ahead of time, so it does not cause instability, volatility, or people to pulling out their hair. That's what happened. A lot of bald people last week. A lot of bald people. Because the Jay Powell announcement was exactly what he said he was going to do. Half basis point for May at the FOMC meeting. No surprises right there. The next morning, everyone's bald. Why was everyone bald? Because they freaked out. He didn't give us really good guidance for the months thereafter, but they freaked out and they realized, wait a second, I don't think what he's doing is working. And that is the wake-up call. Now, for the first time, I can really report on this channel that while I have been telling you for 3 months that the U.S. economy is going into recession for 2 years starting next year, while I told you that Jay Powell's not going to solve inflation by raising interest rates, while I told you that you're going to have inflation plus recession, which potentially will be stagflation, now Americans are realizing it themselves. when you have the stock market crash, when you have the housing starts down 4 consecutive months, when you see the auto sales plummeting dramatically, new car sales plummeting 2 weeks ago, then this last Friday, used car sales, the biggest drop we've seen in a very, very many years. Then with all that happening at the same time, people are starting to realize there's something going on. And the good news is that that is good. Your Build Back Better Act. That is really good news because the way that people give you stimulus is when the economy is not doing well, then they want to help you. Two-prong approach. What's at issue? Number one is J Powell and your SS300. Number two, Build Back Better Act and your money. Congress has three clauses and three add-ons and checks in the incredible Build Back Better Act that'll pay you $15,000 to $80,000. And now the economic data for Democrats is all poor. They got to get it done. A new CNN poll said that millions of Americans were asked a very simple question. Do you approve of the president's performance in office or not? 70% disapproved of his performance in office. This is among registered Democrats and Republicans. Even Liz Warren came out and really lambasted him, saying, what are you doing? Secretly, I just wonder what Bernie Sanders is saying about the president, because nothing Bernie Sanders asked for has gotten done. Bernie asked for dental, vision, hearing, lowering the eligibility age of Medicare. Bernie had this whole list of things in 2021. None of it has even been mentioned out of the mouth of Joe Biden. Then, we also have in that CNN poll a next question. Do you blame the current state of the U.S. economy on Joe Biden? Now, let's pause for a second. Listen to the question. The question is basically saying, hey, the economy's horrible. You're actually giving the answer, a presumption. Let's presume you understand the economy is going to hell in a hell basket. Now give me your opinion of it. And the question was, do you blame the president on it? Do you blame the president for the bad economy? Over 60% did. Really shocking. And now here's what's disconcerting, is that it's really not his fault what Jay Powell's doing. Jay Powell is messing up this economy. What Jay Powell's going to be giving you for Mother's Day, and for 2 more years of Mother's Days to come, he's going to be giving you recession. He's giving you higher interest rates and stagflation, slowing U.S. growth. The GDP is going to shrink from 7.1% projected for April, 6.9% is where it came in, likely about 4% right now, to 0% by the end of the year and -% next year. GDP going into recessionary numbers negative in 2023 as I project for 2 years. That's what Jay Powell's giving you for Mother's Day. Isn't he so kind? Then he's also giving you higher interest rates. That's going to make it very expensive to have credit card debt, car loans, flexible mortgage rates. The 30-year mortgage is highest level of a generation, 5+. No one's going to be able to afford a home to buy it. And if you have a home, you're going to have problems selling it. Yeah. And then we have the 10-year Treasury note surging to 3.13% since 2018. Oh, by the way, a new poll says that banks are not raising their savings account rates, even though the 10-year Treasury note's going up. Isn't that just convenient? That's sort of like every time that there's a hurricane in Costa Rica and they raise the price of the coffee beans. And then once the hurricane's gone, they're like, yeah, but the coffee beans are still expensive. So this is just the reverse version. This is all good news for a Build Back Better Act. Again, because the economic data is poor, then people want to give you money. It's good news for your SS300 because that would swap in a higher interest inflationary rate. And if the inflation rate is still 8% today, which it is probably, then you would get $200 more per month. Not just this month, not just this year, but lifetime. And that would be starting now. What about later this year? $100 more. Why? Because I believe that inflation is coming in 4% later this year. This is where Jay Powell made a mockery of himself, where in the month of February, he said that he's getting inflation down to 1.9%. Yeah, and Nene Leakes is returning to Real Housewives this season. Yeah, this is just not happening, Jay. Not happening. 1.9%. Are you kidding me? So it's going to come in around 4%. That's about another $100. That's SS300. Great news. So great news on one hand. Build Back Better Act going to get passed for those midterm elections. Number two, that SS300 really has that good high inflationary number still, that if Joe Biden made that swap from COLA to inflation today, you'd lock in that $200 and then another $100 later this year. I'll go over more about these calculations tonight on Evenings LA, our primetime show. It's a big show tonight for May 8th. Do not miss it. But the great news as we go into a big afternoon for Mother's Day is that a fourth stimulus check is in every U.S. state. Yes, a fourth stimulus check is now in every U.S. state. And how do you get it? You become a member. You go to the top of the chat and pin comment and get that membership newsletter. It's all in there. Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You watch the videos on this channel, you read the newsletter, and then there's nothing else to know because it's all told to you. It's all written out for you. It's all there on paper and pen in front of you, and then you apply. The viewers of this channel have done so well. We introduced LATE 101 last week, then LATE 202. In LATE 303, I asked viewers to apply for that fourth stimulus check in their state, and they got it done. About 1,000 viewers got their fourth stimulus check application in. When the assignment was assigned on May 5th, they got it in by May 6th. Well, the latest assignment for Monday, if you're currently a member, if you're a new member and have just joined the last few minutes, don't have the newsletter yet, then your deadline is Tuesday. The latest assignment is to get your second stimulus check, your second fourth stimulus check application on file. Let me say that another way. Your second application for a fourth stimulus check on file by this Monday or Tuesday. This is LATE 404. Meantime, I have an LATE 404 add-on extra that's coming up later in this video. I want you to become a member. And the great news is that if you missed any of this over the last few days, I'm going to recap it. First, what I want you to do during the commercial break is I want you to become a member. If you're already a member, then I want to ask you this question. What fourth stimulus check is in every U.S. state? Write the letter in the live chat and tell me what fourth stimulus check is in every U.S. state. And then after the commercial break, I will check back and see if you got it right. And if you did, I'm going to graduate you from LATE 202. What fourth stimulus check is in every U.S. state? Don't get messed up, because a lot of people are getting messed up and thinking one of these checks is. And remember, that check is not in every state. I'll give you a little hint there. But first, if you haven't become a member, and I'll be back with you in 60 seconds. We'll be going over then the recessionary concerns. We'll be going over the student loan debt forgiveness. That's good. And then I'll give you a projection of what's happening with these interest rates and what's going to be happening this Wednesday. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, happy Mother's Day to all of you. And we're just getting started. But first, here's a little bit about the members community page as Afternoons LA continues. It's a great day. Big money. Big moolah, as Sir Lloyd would say. Happy Mother's Day to all of you, as Sir Lloyd would also say. We're going to be back with you in 60 seconds with those incredible monies, those incredible checks. Become a member, and I'll see you back as Afternoons LA continues from the shores of Santa Monica, California today on a big special day. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then Afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on a beautiful day are the coasts you're watching Afternoons LA from Santa Monica, California for May 8th, 2022. Whoa. What a great day it is. Happy Mother's Day to all of you, and what a great day it is. In this second half of this recording, we're going to go over that fourth stimulus check that is in every U.S. state. I'm so excited you're here because viewers have done a resound and astounding job in the last 7 days getting their applications in. Thousands and thousands of viewers have gotten their applications in, and we're going to the next step. We're going to the higher level class in just a second, and then I have sort of an ancillary add-on class I'm going to teach you today in this recording as well. Remember, if you haven't become a member, go to the top of the channel and pin comment. Get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alert system. This week, we started on a Monday. Last week, we started on a Monday with LATE 101, the first very basic class. And it started with viewers memorizing the sentence and repeating it by writing it in the live chat. If you're new to this channel, you just found this channel, then join in with me right now. I'm going to recap so you get caught up very quickly. And if you're an existing member, let's recap as well. Jump in the live chat right now and write the following words. And if I'm in the live chat, I'll tag you and graduate you from LATE 101 once again. Write the following words. A fourth stimulus check now is in every U.S. state. A fourth stimulus check is in every U.S. state. If you write that in the live chat, then congratulations. You have passed. You have graduated LATE 101. Pretty simple. Just write in the live chat. A fourth stimulus check has arrived in every U.S. state. All right, now let's go to LATE 202. That's what happened during the commercial break. During the commercial break, or before the commercial break, I asked you to write in the live chat the checks that are live in every U.S. state for fourth stimulus. What fourth stimulus checks are in every U.S. state? If you wrote 3 checks, you got it right and you graduated. If you wrote 4 checks, you got it wrong. What are the checks that are in every U.S. state for fourth stimulus? What are the fourth stimulus checks in every U.S. state? They are A, B, and C. Congratulations, you wrote that. You have graduated from LATE 202. Now, if you included check D, you got it wrong. Why? Because check D is a fourth stimulus check not in every U.S. state. It is not in every U.S. state. The check D is a automatic check in which states have leftover money from third stimulus and they're sending it out as a fourth stimulus check. But it's not in every U.S. state. It's about 24 states. It will grow to more states, potentially 40. But at the moment, it's not in every U.S. state. So check D was an incorrect answer when asked what fourth stimulus checks are in every U.S. state. They're A, B, and C. At LA 303 this last week, I gave viewers an assignment, a homework. And the homework assignment assigned on May 5th was by May 6th, 24-hour turnaround time. You are to go apply for either check A, check B, or check C. No questions asked, no excuses. You have to get your homework assignment passed in within 24 hours. And boy, did viewers do it. Over 1,000 viewers got their applications in within 24 hours for check A, check B, or check C. Between May 5th and May 6th, they graduate from LATE 303. Now, if you just found this channel, or let's say you were gone those 2 days and just came back, I'm going to graduate you as well if you can get this homework assignment done quickly. The homework assignment is to get 1 fourth stimulus check application in on file. You can choose A, you can choose B, or you can choose C. If you're in the live chat and you did your assignment and you're just watching the video again today because you're ready for the next class, then help us with the discussion by also giving us guidance on what you did so other people see it as well. The ability to get a fourth stimulus check, the first one is check A. If you're in the live chat and you applied for a check A and for a fourth stimulus check in your state, then write check A and I will graduate you from LATE 202. LATE 303. I will graduate you from LATE 303. A fourth stimulus check of check A is in every U.S. state. If you apply for a check A, I will graduate you. I will tag you and congratulate you as a accomplishment of passing and graduating from LATE 303. How do you get check A? It's a $6,500 to $12,000 forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. It's called the Homeowners Weatherizing Grant Check. The income qualification is $75,000 less, a single individual. Married couple, $150,000 less, you can get it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, veterans benefits, and more, you can get it. How do you get Check A's application on file? First, you become a member. Then you go into the newsletter and make sure, let me slow it down. First, you become a member. Also, subscribe. Watch those LA alerts. Make sure you have your alerts set to all on. And then you'll get that newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go into the newsletter and go down to Check A. At Check A, you will see the information about it. Then you'll see the link, the web link, to send you into the nationwide website. Then you choose your respective state, like Tennessee, and then you choose the weatherizing grant check in that state, like Tennessee weatherizing grant check, and you apply. That's all you gotta do. So simple. If you apply for Check A and you're in the live chat, write Check A right now, and I will graduate you from LA 303. All right, let's go to Check B. Check B is incredible. If you apply for Check B and you're in the live chat, write Check B right now. How do you apply for Check B? Very simple. Check B is a $15,000 to $80,000 forced stimulus check. It is the homeowner's grant check, and it's in every U.S. state. And the income qualification is you. Single individual, $75,000 less, you can get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, you can get it. And if you're on benefits, you can get it. How do you get Check A? First, you become a member. Then subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe and also be a member. Go into that alert, that bell at the front of the channel. Make sure you have your bell set to all alerts on, and then get that newsletter. The newsletter is delivered to you Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, via the YouTube alert system. Go into that newsletter, go down past Check A, and then go down till you find Check B. And there you found it. You find the link, click it. You go into the nationwide website, click it. Then you see a map. The map looks a little bit like this. Choose your state, click it, and you apply. Very, very simple. How simple is this, folks? This is very basic, introductory, grade school stuff. Take your finger. Go into the membership newsletter. Oh, there's Check B. See the link, hit it. Go into the map, go into the nationwide website. See your state, click it, type your name, push enter, done. I mean, how simple is that? That's basically all you have to do. Very, very simple. Let's go to, so if you apply for Check B, congratulations, I'm graduating you now from LA 303 as well. Let's go to Check C. If you apply for Check C this last week, then I'm going to graduate you as well from LA 303 for applying for Check C. Check C is a little bit different. It's not going to a website, but it is also open that membership newsletter. So let's go over what you do to get that incredible Check C. First, you become a member. Subscribe as well. Then go down in the newsletter to find Check C. There it is. It's going to tell you the 15 places to pick up the phone and call. Your city, your county hall, your city hall, your state house authority, the 5 or 6 nonprofits. It gives you all the list to call. Then it's going to tell you what to say. Rent assistance because of COVID, utility or mortgage assistance because of COVID. Then it's going to tell you how to pounce and get this money. It's about $2,000 a month. Over 12 months is what viewers are getting currently. It is that MSC, that leftover a third stimulus. It is so simple. Go get it. If you apply for Check C this last week, well, write in the live chat, and I'm going to congratulate you right now. There you go. Congratulations to all the incredible graduates of this channel who have now graduated LA 303 by applying for one of the many forced stimulus checks in every U.S. state. Now, did you hear it? Yes. There is a new homework assignment for Monday, if you're currently a member of this channel. And the new homework assignment is to have you graduate from the next class, LATE 404. Yes. This homework assignment is to apply for another forced stimulus check by this coming Monday. How do you do it? Very simple. If you applied for Check A, then go apply for Check B. If you applied last week for Check B, now go apply for Check A. If you did a Check C, let's say for the water bill, then go do the gas bill. If you did the rent with your city hall, then go do the rent with one of the nonprofits. It's so simple. Again, your homework assignment by this Monday is to apply for another fourth stimulus check. You're putting your second application in by this coming Monday for another fourth stimulus check. Now, if you just became a member and you don't have the newsletter until this coming Monday, I'm going to give you extension until Tuesday. Today, I'm also going to add something else, which is called LATE 404 Plus. LATE 404 Plus is another quick class I want to go over because I got a couple of these questions coming in, and I want to educate you and graduate you from this one as well. LATE 404 is a very, very easy ancillary class because the answer to every question on the multiple choice exam is the same answer. How easy a class is that to graduate? Multiple choice and the answer is always the same answer? Yeah. What is the answer? You need to know. No one cares. Yeah, it's a fun class, isn't it? The answer to every question on the exam in LATE 404 Plus is no one cares. So let me tell you what we teach in LATE 404. So you learn it today. And all you have to do to graduate from LATE 404 is get on the live chat and write no one cares when I ask the question. I'm going to give you the questions. There's no preparation, so get ready to write the answer, which is no one cares, and you will graduate. All right, here we go. When applying for a fourth stimulus check, I need to tell you that I'm on SSI or SSDI. True or false? No, I phrased that wrong. When applying for a fourth stimulus check, you must say SSI or that you are on SSI or SSDI. Write your answer in the live chat. There you did. You did it correctly. No one cares. No one cares when applying for a fourth stimulus check that you're on SSI or SSDI. It's not part of the equation. It is not part of the equation. Somewhere along the line, somewhere 5,000 years ago, someone told people to continually mention that they're on SSI and SSDI when getting stimulus. Don't do it anymore. Stop doing it. I thought I taught this the first week of this channel in 2020. No one cares that you're on SSI or SSDI. It's as though that you have red hair or green hair. No one really cares. It is not part of the equation. It doesn't mean you get a check. It doesn't mean you don't get a check. So let's ask that question again. When applying for a fourth stimulus check, you need to tell people that you're on SSI or SSDI. Answer? Right in the live chat. You got it. No one cares. All right, what if you are a senior citizen? I've got that a lot in the last 3 days. I'm 75 years old. I'm 85 years old. I'm the lobster years. I'm 155 lobster years. Do you need to tell them when applying for fourth stimulus check that you are a senior? Write your answer in the live chat. You got it right. No one cares. No one cares. I've seen a couple people in the live chats in recent days saying, I'm a senior and I'm on veterans benefits. No one cares. Don't mention it. It's not part of the equation. It's just not part of the equation. You will get treated in the application process the same way as a 34-year-old, as much as a 74-year-old. So do not think that that is part of the equation. Next question. Got this one a lot in the last 3 days. I work as what I think in my mind is sort of a hazard pay profession. I work with Nancy Pelosi. No. No, I work as a healthcare provider. I work as a teacher. I work as a truck driver. I need to tell you that when I'm applying for these fourth stimulus checks in every U.S. state. True? Write in the live chat your answer. You got it right. No one cares. Again, no one cares. You graduated. Congratulations. You have now graduated from LATE 404 Plus. Yes, this was a class that basically wanted to teach you. No one cares what your background is. We like it because as a family in the live chat, we like to know where you're from and how's your weather and how's your banana bread recipe going. And why did you put mangoes in your salad? And really, did you have to have a zucchini boat again? And please, why don't you like my Brussels sprouts recipe? We as a community may talk about that. But when applying for the fourth stimulus check, no one cares. No one cares that you like banana bread. No one cares that you're on SSI or SSDI. No one cares you're a veteran. What does this look like? If you haven't seen it, I think you've probably seen it. If you haven't seen it, let me tell you what it looks like. It's someone who jumps to the live chat and says, hi, I'm 75 years old and I work as a nursing assistant and I'm in the state of Florida and I used to live in the state of Virginia. Do I get a fourth stimulus check? Here's your response when you see that. No one cares. Hi, nice to meet you. No one cares. This is a polite way to introduce yourself to new people. You live in Florida. No one cares. You work as a nursing assistant. No one cares. You're 74-year-old Joel. No one cares. We just don't care. They're not going to care when you apply for the application, and then we're not going to care when you're talking about the application. Now, we may care about you and, sharing your banana bread recipe with us. But other than that, we do not, the application process does not care about all this stuff. So when you come in and you're ready to apply, just zip it. You just apply. Don't start with, you're this age and you're that state and you're in this city and you're that county and you do this for work and, and you don't like my shirt. No one cares that you don't like my shirt. No one cares that you don't like. Well, actually, I do care that you don't like my shirt. So there you go. That is LA 404. So simple to LA 404 plus. So simple to graduate from. All right. Remember your assignment from Monday. If you're currently a member with that membership newsletter, is get your application in for that second check. Why are we doing this so rapid fire? Why is this going on so quickly? Why am I telling people to get your homework assignments in right away? It's because the economy is going to a hell in a hell basket. It is going down very quickly, and I need you to move right now because, one, the money's running out. That's the first reason. The money of these 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state are running out, and I don't have time for you to think to yourself, should I go get it? You need to get the money right now because this is the graphic today, every state. That may not be the graphic in a few months from now because the checks will be running out eventually. The second reason is because the economy is going to a hell in a hell basket very, very quickly. And you need the money right now. Now, let's turn to that student loan debt forgiveness. Good news on that front. 7 stimulus. The president has forgiven student loan debt forgiveness for individuals who became disabled after graduation. People went to work in the nonprofit or public sector after graduation. Then he said if your debts were in default, he'll put in good standing. That's great. Then he also said that if your debts were procured by fraud by the university against you, he'll forgive the debts completely. Wow. If your debts are due in May, he's going to roll it over to September. Wow. Now, what did the president do about 2 Fridays ago? He was asking you, are you going to forgive $50,000, Joe? He said, no, I am not. But I'm looking at the remainder of the situation across the board. Well, look at the remainder of the situation. What I want you to look at is the Department of Education's website, and then look at the press releases. Go in there and look at every time that Miguel Cardona speaks in those press releases. Why? Because there you'll learn about more debts being forgiven. I'm not the debt expert. I'm certainly not. But viewers of this channel have done really well in the last 2 weeks, like Chef John Myers, a couple $1,000s forgiven for him and other viewers as well. You want to go in there and see what Cardona is writing in those press releases. Also, I need you to write down these words. Write down these words right now. These are these other debts that they're trying to forgive by modifying the statute. What are they doing? They're taking the statute and modifying the statute so that the debts are forgiven. Just by doing it a backdoor way. It's a great idea. James Cavall, who's undersecretary to Miguel Cardona, explains. IDR credit, write that down, IDR credit. Then we're looking at public service loan forgiveness program. Then we're looking at the income repayment programs. They're looking at that type of language, modifying the statute so more applications get approved. Wow. Let's go over to that 6th stimulus now. 6th stimulus is the Western allies, Germany, France, and the United States, to get off of that Russian product and oil. And I got to tell you, this is one of those stories that, it sounds sort of like something Nancy Pelosi and Steve Mnuchin would have written. They sort of talk about something and then you don't hear anything for a day or two. And then they talk about it and you don't hear anything for a few days. Remember that for second stimulus, 2 years ago? That's what's going on with 6th stimulus. 6th stimulus, they had announced a week ago that the European Union was going to pass a rule that was going to ban Russian oil and that they were going to give exemption to Hungary and one other country. And then we didn't see the vote. What? Then there was that day in which I told you back last month when the JCPOA was about to be approved. that would give 1.5 million barrels of gasoline internationally to flood the markets, bringing down the price of gasoline. It's a deal between the United States and Iran, where Iranian nuclear arms are dismantled, and then their oil is no longer embargoed. And then they didn't sign it. And we didn't hear any update again. And I had to go searching for the news update. In fact, the person who wrote the news update, which was an overseas publication, very, very small, said they had to search for the answer. Now what's going on as well is that the British pound sterling plummeted to its worst one-day fall on Thursday. That's their currency. And their head of their Bank of England, Governor Andrew Bailey, said that we're walking a narrow path right now. We're looking at trying to curb inflation and the risks as well. What is England warning? 10% inflation by the end of the year. You know why I'm laughing? You know why I'm laughing. Jay Powell said, I'm going to raise interest rates and I'm going to get inflation down from, 8% down to 1.9%. And I said, no, you're not. It's not going to work. What is the Bank of England saying? We're going to raise interest rates and we're hoping to make it work, but we still think inflation is going to go higher to 10%. You think their economies, you think the English economy is so different than the United States that we're going to 1.9 and they're going up to 10? No, we're not that much different economy. That's why I think that not Joe Manchin. I think that your Fed president Jay Powell was watching this quote from Governor Andrew Bailey out of England, saying, "Darn you! How darn you tell your people in England that inflation is going up to 10% when you're raising interest rates. You're supposed to tell them it's going to go down. That's the story. That's the script we're running here." If you don't know, that's actually a serious lie, because Jay Powell has been accused of using a script to get inflation down, that he's basically trying to talk it down. Here's what you need to know, is that the storm out to sea is closer to the beach than ever before. The storm out to the sea is 2023. 2 years of recession, I'm projecting. 2 years of recession. And those 2 years of recession are going to be very bad. Very bad. So now is the time to bunker down and apply for every check that is available, to literally hoard and get every single pot of money. Check C alone has rent, utilities, and then if you have 5 utilities, that's rent and 5 utilities, that's 6. Mortgage items, 7. And there's a lot of items in Check C, and then you can get those 7 items from more than one location. Then we got Check A, we got Check B. Look at all this money. It's a lot of money. And you saw the graphics earlier in this video. When we're looking at Check A, we're looking at, 6,500 to 12,000. When we're looking at Check B, $50,000 to $80,000. This is big money. You're sitting back and saying, what about something that maybe Congress will get to? No, you're not doing that anymore. You clearly have not. And that is why I'm so proud of the viewership of the channel, because I don't want to scare the socks off of you, but I certainly warned you. This economy is going really bad really quickly, and you need to get every darn check that's available. When the check's available, it's cash that's on the table saying, come and get me. And you want to go get Check A, application on file. You want to go get a Check C, application on file. You want to go get a Check B, application on file, and graduate from LI 303. You want to get your homework assignment in for Monday, which is to go apply for another one of those checks by Monday and graduate from LA 404. You learned in today's recording also the details of LA 404 Plus. No one cares what your background is, where you live, or what you do for work. A forced stimulus check is now in every U.S. state, and that is not part of the equation. No one cares whether you're on benefits or not. They're not going to give you a check or not give you a check based upon you're on benefits. They're not going to give you a check or not give you a check based upon what state you live in. They're not going to give you a check or give you a check based upon your banana bread recipe. So get that membership link right today. Go to the front of this channel and do it right now. Let's recap what you need to do to make sure you got that newsletter. First, subscribe. First, subscribe. Go to the top of the channel and subscribe. Then, become a member. Join and become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Castino VIP. Then go to that little bell at the front of this channel and hit that bell to make it's set to all notifications. Then look out for the incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alert system. And next, join me on Evenings LA at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time for May 8th, 2022, a major new recording. You don't want to miss it. The toast was toasting this morning. The salmon was salmoning at noontime. And Evenings LA, the evenings will be evening. That didn't sound really good, did it? No, it didn't. For now, happy Mother's Day to all of you. I'll see you tonight at 5 o'clock. Don't forget to get your applications on file. Get your homework done, because guess what? We're heading to LA 505 next. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.